And we are live. Hello, good morning. I'm Spike, and welcome back to another self-taught Japanese in Rosetta Stone 3. Here we are at the start of the week, looking at doing this listening module for Unit 3, Lesson 1. Just continuing on from what I've already done: core lesson, pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, and reading and the writing. Um, So yeah, here we are. I'm going to start doing the listening one very shortly. So first things first, let's get stuff out of the way. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope that you find these videos informative and entertaining in documenting my progress learning Japanese by myself through this one program and a couple of outside resources in my own time. I hope that you enjoy what you'll end up watching or listening to here, and that you take away what you need if it comes to having an interest in Japanese, Japan, the culture, or in this case, learning the language. Um, if you're returning, thank you very much for returning. Very much love and respect you all for helping me by following me and supporting me on this channel. And for those who haven't yet, if you'd like to like, follow, share, and subscribe, it would mean the absolute world to me. You can do it at twitch.tv/xofficina and youtube.com/xofficina. Just go click the bell, hit the like button, hit the follow button, share it to your friends and family who might find this of interest, or who might want to learn Japanese themselves and aren't sure how to go about it. It would mean the world to me to show support. I am trying to get to affiliate status on Twitch, which is in another 25 follows. So if you can get those follows up, that would mean the world to me. And the same for YouTube. If you're watching this in the playlist on YouTube, thank you very much for joining and for following me. And I hope you continue to do so, and you can use this material to be able to teach yourself, and at the same kind of pace that I am, proving that it is possible to learn a language by yourself without a teacher, without expensive programs and resources and all the like. Um, it's just having a good access to something like this, where I'm providing this material for nothing. I'm just documenting my own progress, but you can see what I'm using and how it gets used for learning language. And then obviously it's down to your own willpower and your own motivation, and perhaps your own learning style and method. As you can see with mine, I'm not moving on until I get 100% on any of the slides, any of the pictorials, and any of these module sections. I'm not going to move forward until I hit 100%. So sometimes that means you will see me have to repeat over and over again some of the sections, but I think that works for me. It helps me embed into my brain um, the process, the language, what I've learned, what it means, etc. And it's building up that relationship in my mind with how this language works and how it's structured and how to formulate it to get the answers. Um, and I don't think I'm doing too bad. I'm sat here at Unit 3. We're halfway through the year. I'm a little bit behind where I was expecting to be, but that's only due to real life events that have prevented me from streaming at times. Mostly it's been technical issues with the computer itself in this program because it's such an old program. It doesn't like newer versions of Windows, so there is that to contend with. Um, but here we are, we're 6 months into the year, nearly 7 months into the year. Well, we are now 7 months into the year, and we've got a good 3/4 of the way through this first part of this year's curriculum in this program. So making some good progress. Also, I am currently running a GoFundMe for donations for support in helping with covering some of the financial costs with going to a solicitor's to fight for the access to my autistic daughter. The link is in the description down below. It should be the first thing in the description. So anyone who would like to check that out and support me so that I can actually go to solicitors and process papers and such like, because they're so expensive here in England. Um, that yeah, it'd be very much appreciative of any help or support, words of advice and all the rest of it. Go click the GoFundMe link down below to support me there and check out the story there. The costs are astronomical, and because of most of the work from home stuff that I do at home is volunteer work, I do not have much of an income to help support myself on that front, besides my living costs. So any help and donations to being able to help me go to court to fight for access to my autistic daughter, um, from my ex would be very much appreciated. You can find the link below. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's crack on with the meat and potatoes of these videos, which is to do these exercises. So let's click into listening. We're going to do our microphone setup as always. I have my reference sheets of information. Here's the one with the numbers and tenses on this sheet. And then obviously the alphabetized hiragana kanji that I have here with what their Western English pronunciations are. So let's just crack on, get this microphone set up. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go. Get it clicked in. Excuse me. A bit of a sore throat today because I had a busy weekend over the weekend with my daughter, and chasing after kids in a play
学
park
校
is always always fraught with the shouting and such. Anyway, that was gakko,
学校
which is school or classroom.
レストラン
Restaurant is pretty easy.
病院
Yoin's the hospital.
公園
And koen is the park. So there we go. Gakko for school or classroom. Koen for park. Byoin for hospital. And restaurant for restaurant. Let's go. Let's get 10% out.
女の子は遊んでいます。
That's the little girl was playing.
女の人たちは働いています。
That's oh.
女の人たちは働いてい
Didn't
ま
listen
す。
to that properly. I thought I heard otokonoko. It's not.
女の子は遊んでいます。
Yeah, so she's playing.
女の人たちは働いています。
Women are at work.
男の子たちは遊んでいます。
Boys are playing.
男の人は働いています。
And the man is working. There we go. Otoko no hito wa hataraite imasu. Onna no hito tachi wa hataraite imasu. So the man is at work, the women are working. Onna no ko wa asonde imasu. The girl is playing. Otoko no ko tachi wa asonde imasu. The boys are playing. Let's go to slide 3.
この医者は病院で働いています。
I'm a doctor working in a hospital.
この男の人たちは公園で働いています。
Men are working outside in the park.
この女の人たちはレストランで働いています。
Ladies are working in the restaurant.
この先生は学校で働いています。
And what's this one?
この先生は
Yeah, that's the teachers working in the school. So, この男の人たちは公園で働いています。この女の人たちはレストランで働いています。この先生は学校で働いています。And この医者は病院で働いています。Awesome.
私は病院で働いています。
So I'm just, one of my caseload has, for helping with neurodivergent and mental health support, has just, with my assistance, helped, he's just been awarded his PIP. Fantastic news. Nice. Well, that's good news and a good way to start the day. Let's go back to this.
私は病院で働いています。
I work in the hospital. It's the doctor.
私は学校で遊んでいます。
I'm playing in the school.
私は学校で働いています。
I work in the school.
僕は公園で遊んでいます。
And he's playing in the park. So, watashi wa goku de asonde imasu. Playing in the school. Boku wa koen de asonde imasu. I'm playing in the park. Notice how it goes from female here, watashi, to male dominant orientated, boku wa, right? But it doesn't happen here with the man. That's because the young boy, when you're a child, from what I can understand in Japanese, there is less pressure to use formal language, or the polite forms of language, particularly when it's a singular boy in isolated condition. The bokuwa tends to apply more than using watashiwa. Watashiwa is the more polite formal version because it's feminine. So it seems that when you are around people, you tend to use the more formal, polite, feminine response, even as a male, and it becomes watashiwa rather than using the bokuwa. Could be wrong, but that's what I've noticed in most of the material that I've not just done in this program, but that I've covered in my own research and learning at home outside of these videos and streams. So it's just something to be aware of. Let's go to the next one. Watashi wa gakko de hataraite imasu. I work in the school. Watashi wa byouin de hataraite imasu. I work in the hospital. You would do, you're a doctor. Let's go to the next slide.
彼女は外で走っています。
She's running outside.
男の人と女の人は外でサンドイッチを食べています。
The man and the lady eat sandwiches outside.
彼は屋内で走っています。
He is running inside.
家族は家の中で夕ご飯を食べています。
The family is eating dinner together. So, 家族は家の中で夕ご飯を食べています。So yeah, family are inside. Dinner are eating, there is. As close to literal translation as I can get. 彼女は外で走っています。She is outside running, there is. Yeah. Again, literal translation, so it's just she's outside, she's running outside. 彼は屋内で走っています。屋内 is inside, so he is inside and running there. 男の人と女の人は外でサンドイッチを食べています。The man and lady are outside sandwich eating, there is. It's again, close to literal translation. But in doing so, you can see otoko no shito, older man, and onna no shito, the older woman. Soto, outside, sandoichi, sandwich, or tabete imasu, to eat, there is. So you can see with the structural and grammatical construction of these sentences, it is just, if you read it literally translated, you would sound like Yoda from Star Wars. No TM infringe. But just as a point of reference, that's kind of how this comes across, which is why I find it interesting that George Lucas said everything that Yoda says, he says the way he does for people to hear and listen promptly to what he says, because he's the important narrator. I find it very interesting that most of Yoda's English structures are basically how Japanese is literally translated into English, which makes me wonder, did he have a trip out there and then base the translation of Japanese into English as to be what Yoda's English speech would be, because it's incredibly similar. But there you go, little tip and trick there. Let's go slide 6.
この男の人は屋内で働いています。この男の人は屋内で働いていま
The
す。
man is working inside.
この女の人たちは屋内で働いています。
And the ladies are working inside.
この男の人たちは外で働いています。
The men are working outside.
この女の人は外で働いています。
And the lady is working outside. So there we go. この男の人は屋内で働いています。The man is inside working. So there we go. You got 屋内 for inside, 外 for outside. この男の人たちは外で働いています。働いて being to work or is working. So they're outside working. この女の人は外で働いています。So there we go. Singular female, singular woman is outside working. She's in the 公園。この女の人たちは屋内で働いています。And the ladies, multiple, plural, 女の人たち。There you go. The plural. And 屋内 for inside で働いています。And working there is. So there are these ladies, or the ladies are inside working. Let's go to slide 7.
夜です。
Yoru des. It's the afternoon, isn't it? Or is it evening?
夜です。
I think it's the evening. I think I got that one wrong. Ah,
昼で
of
す。
course, it changes. I'm an idiot.
夕方です。
Yugata des. There you go. It's the dusk.
昼です。
Hiru des. It's lunchtime-ish.
夜です。
Yoru des. It's the evening.
朝です。
Asa des is the morning. So asa des, AM, morning. Hiru des is the afternoon or lunchtime, afternoon onwards. Yugata des is the like evening dusk time. And then yoru des is night time. As in like good night, as in late evening. Like 10, 11, 12 o'clock, midnight into morning. Let's go to slide 8.
男の子たちはご飯を食べています。朝です。子供たちは朝ごはんを食べています。夕方です。家族は夕ごはんを食べています。昼です。男の人たちは昼ごはんを食べています。
And there we are. So we've got otoko no kotachi wa gohan o tabete imasu. That's the boys are eating. There you go. You're eating gohan. What's that? We're just eating food. I'm pretty sure that's is that gohan? Gohan's lunch? Yeah, it looks like lunch to me. Let's just have a double check. Oh, I need that web page up for a Japanese meaning. Oh no, they're eating rice. I'm an idiot. It's also used for meal or food. Okay. And then atades, it's the morning. The kids are eating breakfast. Because asa gohan is morning meal or breakfast food. And then you've got hiru gohan, lunch food or lunch meal or midday meal. And then yugohan is obviously nighttime meal or nighttime food. So yeah, asa desu, kodomo tachi wa asa gohan o tabete imasu. It's the morning. The kids are eating breakfast. Roughly. Hiru desu, otoko no hitotachi wa hiru gohan o tabete imasu. It's the afternoon or it's lunchtime. The men are eating lunch. And then yogata desu. Kazoku wa yugohan o tabete imasu. It's the evening. The family are eating dinner. Roughly there or thereabouts. Because again, the context in Japanese changes through the translation. So what the literal translation might be isn't necessarily what the translation into English is going to mean. So it's just, but it's like any language. We do that with French or with German into English. There's not so much of the literal because of the way that the context works and the grammatical structure of their languages. So when it comes into English, we tends to have added certain things or taken some things away or jumbled the words around so that it makes sense, because our interpretation is slightly different on that context and becomes a bit more literal. Let's go to slide 9.
私たちは家の中で夕ご飯を食べています。
Oh, that's a difficult one.
私たちは家の中で夕ご飯を食べています。
That's dinner time. No.
私たちは外で
私たちは家の中で
I will go for the first one. Yep.
私たちは外で朝ごはんを食べています。
私たちは家の中で朝ごはんを食べています。
私た
Oh,
What?
rubbish. Why am I getting these? So the sotos are at the top and the en or nakas are at the bottom. So it's getting the times right, but it's hard to determine what it is in front of them for the food that they are eating. I was relying on the watashi tachi wa soto de, or the watashi tachi wa ie no naka de, and it isn't. I am having to rely on the yugahan and the asagohan, which is a little bit more difficult. Interesting. It just ramped up from slide 8 to slide 9. Now we're in the difficult territory. Yay. Let's go.
私たちは外で朝ごはんを食べています。
You're the morning meal.
私たちは外で夕ご飯を食べています。
And you're the afternoon meal outside.
私たちは家の中で夕ご飯を食べています。
You're the evening meal.
私たちは家の中で朝ごはんを食べています。
I wonder if the orange and the coffee is supposed to be the clue there for what's going on. So there we go. Watashi tachi wa ie no naka de yugohan o tabete imasu. And we are inside eating dinner. Watashi tachi wa ie no naka de asagohan o tabete imasu. We are inside eating breakfast. Watashi tachi wa soto de asagohan o tabete imasu. We are outside eating breakfast. And watashi tachi wa soto de yugohan o tabete imasu. We are outside eating lunch. Let's go slide 10, get halfway through.
彼らは昼遊びます。
Hiru asobimasu. We're outside
彼
today.
は朝働きます。
It's the morning.
彼女は夕方テレビを見ます。
She's watching telly in the afternoon or
彼
evening.
は夜働きます。
And he's going to the gym, or he's working late at night. Oh dear. So, kare wa asa hatarakimasu. Or hatarakimasu. I'm an idiot. Why did I? It's because the way that it's changed the English. Again, it's not kept the imas separate. They do like changing it up that way to reflect what the Japanese does, but it's there's still gapping in Japanese from symbol to symbol. Kanojo wa yugata terebi o omimasu. Karera wa hiru asobimasu. And kare wa yoru hatarakimasu. Cool. So he is working in the morning. She is watching telly in the evening or in the afternoon. They are playing in the... Oh no, she's watching TV at night time. They're playing in the afternoon and he's working at night. Let's go to slide 11.
どこで働いていますか？
私は学校で働いています。
He works in the school.
私は公園で働いています。
Working in the park outside.
私は病院で働いています。
Working in the hospital.
私はレストランで働いています。
And working in the restaurant. So he's asking, Doko de hataraite imasu ka? Where do you work? And we've got, Watashi wa koen de hataraite imasu. I work in a park. Watashi wa byoin de hataraite imasu. I work in a hospital. Watashi wa gakko de hataraite imasu. I work in the school. And watashi wa restaurant de hataraite imasu. I work in the restaurant. Guess the 12.
いつ働いていますか？
What time do
私
you
は
work?
昼働いています。
いつ働いていますか？いつ働いていますか？
私は夜働いています。 私は朝働いています。
Yep, because we've got this one to begin with. So, itsu hataraite imasu ka is asking what time do you work? Watashi wa asa hataraite imasu. I work in the morning. Itsu hataraite imasu ka? What time do you work? Watashi wa hiru hataraite imasu. I work in the afternoon. Itsu hataraite imasu ka? What time do you work? Watashi wa yoru hataraite imasu. I work in the evening or at night. Let's go to slide 13.
スーツは着ていますが、ネクタイはしていません。
I'm wearing a suit, but I'm not wearing a necktie.
靴と靴下を履いています。靴と靴下を履いています。
Oh, I'm an idiot. It was both of them.
靴と靴下を履いています。
I am wearing both socks and
ス
shoes.
ーツを着てネクタイをしています。
He's wearing a suit and tie.
靴は履いていますが、靴下は履いていません。
He's wearing shoes but no socks.
スーツは着ていますが、ネクタイはしていません。
He's wearing a suit and no tie. So, sutsu wa kite imasu ga, necktie wa shite imasen. So I'm wearing a suit, but I'm wearing no necktie, basically, because imasen is I'm not or I don't. It's the negative. Okay. Sutsu wa kite necktie wa shite imasu. I'm wearing a suit and necktie. Kutsu wa haite imasu ga, kutsushita wa haite imasen. I'm wearing shoes, I'm not wearing socks. And kutsu, kutsushita wa, this is the hard one. Kutsu or kutsushita wa, so I keep saying I wanted to say wa and it's not, it's all haite. Kutsu or kutsushita or haite imasu. There we go. That was difficult. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. But yes, I'm wearing socks and shoes collectively. Okay. Let's go to slide 14.
彼は卵を持っていますが食べていません。女の子は本を持っていますが読んでいません。女の子は本を持って読んでいます。彼は卵を持って食べています。
So, 彼は卵を持っていますが食べていません。I am holding the tomato, the egg, sorry, not eating it. 女の子は本を持って読んでいます。The girl is holding a book and reading. 彼は卵を持って食べています。He has an egg and is eating it. 女の子は本を持っていますが読んでいません。The girl has a book, is holding a book, but not reading it. Okay. Essentially what's going on in these, he's holding his egg, not eating it. She's holding a book and reading it. He's got an egg and eating it, and she's got a book, holding a book and not reading it. So we've got them both ways round. To further that
彼
grammar.
は寝る前に読みます。彼は寝る前に読みます。彼は仕事の前にコーヒーを飲みます。彼女は昼ご飯の後に読みます。彼らは夕ご飯の後にコーヒーを飲みます。
Yes. There we go. So, 彼は仕事の前にコーヒーを飲みます。He is drinking his coffee. What's shigoto? I'm not quite sure what shigoto is. I've forgotten. It's last week. That's not good of me. It helps if I can spell it. There we go. This doesn't mean that. There we go. He drinks coffee before his work. So he drinks coffee before his work. They eat dinner They eat dinner before drinking coffee, or they drink coffee after they've eaten. He reads before bed, and she reads before lunch. That's basically what we've got going on here. So yeah, they eat before they drink the coffee. He has coffee before work. He reads before bed, and she reads before lunch. Size 16.
15本のネクタイ、
Oh, there we go. 15 neckties.
16本のベルト、
There's 16 belts.
14個のカップ、
There's 14 cups.
13個の卵、
13 eggs. Lovely stuff. 13個の卵。14個のカップ。夕ご飯のネクタイ。And 16本のベルト。Let's go to slide 17. Fantastic.
17枚のお皿、
17 plates.
18個のボール、
It's the 18 balls.
19本の花、
It's the 19 flowers.
20冊の本、
It's the 20 books. Here we go. 17枚の皿。18個のボール。19本の花。20冊の本。Slide 18.
何歳ですか？
私は14歳です。
私は19歳です。
何歳ですか？
She's going to be asking the questions. So, 何歳ですか? How old are you? 私は14歳です. I'm 14? Yep, 14. 何歳ですか? How old are you? 私は19歳です. 19 is 19. Cool. Let's get slide 19.
おはようございます。
おはようございます. No.
おはよ
Oh,
こんにち
come
は。
on.
おはようございます。
Yeah, so that's them.
こんにちは。
Konnichiwa would be the greeting in the
お
afternoon.
やすみなさい。
That's good night.
こんばんは。
Konbanwan's the afternoon, evening. So that's good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. Konnichiwa is your formal hello for throughout the day. So good morning, hello, and good afternoon, or evening, good evening, and good night. Oyasu minasai. Let's go to the last slide.
どこで書きますか？
So,
朝は公園で書きます。
yep,
夕方は今で書きます。
that's a bit simple because it was in order. But we got doko de kakimasu ka. So, I've had this before, but only the once. So let's go back to the translation for this one, just briefly, just so that I get this right. So, doko de kakimasu ka? Oh, it helps if I type must go, right? Doop 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 doo doo. Let's just double check and make sure. Pretty sure it's where do you work? So in the morning I work in the park. At night, or where do you write? I write in the park, and I write at home. And then in the morning I write in the park. In the evening I write at home, or in the ima, which is the living room. And there we go. 75 correct, with a few mistakes today and a few repeats, but that's to be expected at the start of the week. After a weekend jam-packed with my daughter, where I do just relax and turn off from doing this sort of thing. So of course my coming back to the language is going to be a tiny little bit off and a little bit rusty, but that's the whole point of doing this process and casually learning the way that I do, is to make sure that I do get that rinse and repeat where I can still make mistakes but then also extrapolate and relearn, so that the memory recall function for language is still learning, still fresh, and it keeps rehashing and remembering things. Um, that's why I have the method I do, and it seems to work rather well. So it's worth trying. But that's today's video. That's the listening module done. And that's the beginning of this week's Japanese. So tomorrow we'll do the listening and reading, and speaking on Wednesday, review on Thursday. We'll see how that goes. And we'll see if the core lesson can be started on Friday. Hopefully there won't be anything that will happen during the week that will put me off kilter and stop me from getting this out there. So yes, the next module will be that listening and reading module. And I fully expect that as we get through, it's going to ramp up in the difficulty. In lieu of core lesson 2, and I expect that from core lesson 2 onwards, even with the repetition, that's where we're going to start to see most of the complex stuff start to challenge us, and maybe get some new material really put in there with regards to the structure and the grammar to really start challenging what's being said as the Japanese gets more complicated in this program. So that's all from me for today's video. As always, like, follow, share and subscribe on twitch.tv/xofficina and youtube.com/xofficina. You can get me on one website, you'll be able to get me on the other, and vice versa. All pages are linked together. If that doesn't tickle your fancy, then you can always direct message and DM me on the Discord server, which there is also a link for. The invite code, the link will just take you to the invite code and you can join the server on there. As obviously the server has its own rules, so please just take a quick moment to check out that landing page on there if you do decide to join. And as always, if you wish to, get in the comments below. I'd love to hear any feedback, advice, constructive criticism, tips, tricks, anything that's to do with learning Japanese, of course, is very much welcome. Anything that I say or do, very much welcome. Just leave it on the relevant video for the comments. And as always, plaster it around. I really do love the support. This costs me nothing to make. I'm doing this just because I want to make this content and these videos, and hopefully ensure that some people have some materials that they can utilize for free just by watching a video, and show that it's possible to just grind out learning a language if you've got the wherewithal and the patience to do so. It's not too amazingly difficult. It just takes a little bit of wrapping your head around, which I'm hoping that what I'm doing here and commentating on with this material is showing you that it can be done. I don't have a teacher or anything. I'm just doing this off my own back because I want to learn Japanese. I want to be able to speak to them in their language, show them the respect and dignity that they deserve. So I'm not just one of these Western world tourists when I eventually visit. And I like the idea of hopefully securing some business in Japan where I can then just have that dialogue and that conversation backwards and forwards, and there'll be no language barrier as such. To therefore have a bit more success in selling my musical wares over in Japan. So that's all from me today. I hope you've enjoyed the video and the content. As I've said, like, follow, share and subscribe. Twitch.tv/xofficina and youtube.com/xofficina. That was nearly the old handle going out there. And I hope to see you for the next video soon. As always, take care, stay safe, keep sane, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.